Right, I am Dodger Roger, and this is going to be a short video just to explain certain elements of the game. As I explained in a previous video, I put some money into the game in order to purchase a couple of premium vehicles for testing, more than anything. I've since had a good chance, well, a relatively good chance with regards to the Calliope, at least anyway, so far, with regards to how it forms in combat. And I just thought I'd basically put a video together just to explain what it's all about, with regards to how well it performs and whether it's actually worth the outlay of gold. Because bearing in mind, normally this vehicle, if you were to buy it for Golden Eagles, it costs you about 9,600, I think. Also, Golden Eagles, which yeah, that's roughly equivalent to about let's see, no, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, it's roughly equivalent to about £34, or $50 or so if you're stateside, or at €49, obviously. Now, I've used it in several games now. I've obviously not used up all the free repairs yet. I'm still got 13 left, and from what I've seen of it, it's as I was kind of expecting. Really, it's not as overpowered as you might imagine for such an outlay of real money. It is, however, quite entertaining, at least with regards to the fact that it's got all of these rockets on the top, 60 in total, which can create quite a lot of havoc with the enemy if, and this is the big if you get the chance to use them. Because the biggest problem with this vehicle is that it is just a normal Sherman. The only difference obviously being that it's got this massive rocket on top, which enables it to fire rockets either directly or indirectly at the enemy. Now, there is no artillery function for using these rockets. They are literally, you just point them at the enemy and shoot them at them. You could possibly try shooting them indirectly. I have done so at least on one occasion, but it's not very accurate. And because of the way that these are actually placed, they're not all central, and your obviously aiming cursor is, the shots don't follow a standard flight path. They don't fly straight in comparison to the ones that fly off in the middle. The ones that fire off from the outside, for example, will aim inwards. So if you're shooting at a target that's there, for example, and you miss the you get the ranging wrong, the shot will fly past it and probably end up hitting that hangar over there, rather than fly in a straight line and hit the tower there, if you understand what I mean. But either way, that's kind of the rockets, I suppose. The way the actual tank works, obviously, it's basically a Sherman, and that's the biggest flaw with this vehicle. It's basically just a Sherman, but it's at a high battle range. It's at battle range 4.3, which means it fights harder opponents, which can pen it very easily in comparison to it penetrating them. After all, it's only got the basic 75mm M3 cannon that the normal Sherman has. Coupled with the fact that it doesn't have any machine guns either, so you can't use those to check if a target's dead already, which is kind of a standard tactic that I've started doing now, because enemy tanks don't always disappear immediately. In fact, they can last for almost the entire game. Whether or not this is worth the gold, as I've already stated, I don't think it is. At least at the current amount that it's set at. Whether or not it gets reduced at some later point, or indeed, and this is kind of the big question, whether or not Gaijin actually put a normal version of the Calliope into the tech tree. Now that is, kind of what I'm kind of thinking they might do eventually. Whether or not they do is a completely different matter, and I can't say for certain. However, I can say, as I've already stated, that I don't think that is actually worth the enormous outlay that you will have to pay in order to get it. The Black Cat, for example, is just so much more capable, and is possibly even less than half price in comparison to that. The M26E1 is way more capable than Calliope, and because it's tier 4, will also produce more RP and lines than the Calliope will as well. However, from what I've seen, the T28, as I initially thought, isn't worth the outlay either, because it is just so slow. Basically, it will get left behind in any kind of battle situation and struggle to get into combat at all, and therefore it is quite a bad premium, especially at that price. Now, I did actually state in the previous video with regards to when I was buying the Calliope that I wouldn't buy it at full price, and indeed I didn't. When this patch was released, or rather when the VE Day event was running on War Thunder, they had a 30% discount, flat discount on every single vehicle in game, every single allied vehicle in game, including the premiums as well, and that's when I got it. It cost me just over 6,000, I think, golden eagles, which, although it was a relatively expensive purchase, it's still not as expensive as what it would have been if I didn't have that discount. So I kind of was not happy about it, but you know, it was cheaper than what it should have been. Bearing in mind it's still a digital product, so in theory it's actually worth nothing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the time being with regards to the Calliope. There will be more videos with regards to it and gameplay of it, obviously, as well. I might actually staple some onto the back of this video so you can check some of those out. Either that, or I'll just release them as separate videos so you can see them in the future. But anyway, that's it for me for the time being. So thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe as well. Thanks, and goodbye.